Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Laffy Taffy, can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Behind me, we got a 97 Ford Expedition, 4-wheel drive. And what I'm about to do is show you how to replace the front brake pads and rotors. Coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, first things first. Safety is number one. We got our hydraulic jack right there, jacked up on the frame of the vehicle, right there. And we got our two big jack stands holding the vehicle up. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is go over here and remove the cap to the master cylinder. That cap right there. Take the cap off. And what I'm about to do is show you what's called the Timmy Towel. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I call this the Timmy Towel. Get you some paper towel. What you want to do is take the paper towel, ball it up a little bit, and put it just right here. Just like that, because as we push the pistons back on the calipers, which I'm about to show you, the brake fluid in this master cylinder will start to rise up. And you don't want this spilling all over the place because it can cause a fire. So what the paper towel does is soak the brake fluid up as it's coming up. And you definitely want to use a paper towel because it's porous. You don't want to use something to stick in there and it stops it from coming up, or you'll mess up the seals inside the master cylinder. And if you do that, you step on the brakes, you're going to have no brakes. Alright, let's get ready to take our tires off. We'll be right back. Alright guys, the first thing we do is take off the center cap. Now you want to turn the wheel until you see a little opening in the center cap right there. Take your pry bar, stick it in there, pop that right off. The tire is held on by 5 19mm or 3/4 inch lug nuts. So we got a 19mm deep, 1/2 inch drive with our air gun. It'd be nice if I got the air line. Alright, and we're going to take off both wheels. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're on the right side. And what you want to do is turn the wheel all the way to the left so it can be easily accessible right here. Check that out. Alright, now guys, if you can see inside here, let me get a little screwdriver right here. You see that little rubber boot right there, and right there, that's one piston to the caliper, and down here is another one. Now a lot of guys will take the caliper off and use a C-clamp to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'll do that on the other side to show you, but on this side I'm going to show you a little trick. Now this one is what you call a dual piston caliper. There's two pistons, so that's dual. Majority of them has one big piston in the middle. So what you want to do is take your screwdriver and you want to wedge this screwdriver between the brake pad, which is right there, and the rotor. Let me spin the rotor a little bit. And sometimes you might get a there. Once you start getting that in there, what happened? There's no focus. Dang it, man. I'm trying to do this the nice way, and it ain't happening. And if you have a problem like this, it's hammer time, guys. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we got us a screwdriver. I'm going to stick the screwdriver right onto the pad. I'm going to take a hammer, hit that in there, and start pushing back on that piston. And what I'm going to do here, get my other screwdriver, and as you can see it going back, Now, the thing is, you got one down. Now we got to get this one back. So, what we're going to do here, get that screwdriver wedge in there and push that one back. And this screwdriver is kind of little, so what I'm going to do is get my pry bar. Now, at the same time, we'll push both of them back, and you can see both of those pistons going back till they stop. You definitely got to go back all the way to their flush. Let me see if I can get a better leverage on this one. Well, I mangled that brake pad, didn't I? It don't matter.
That doesn't mess up the rotor?
No, see, that's why. See, right now, I'm prying. It doesn't mess up the rotor. This one I'm prying up against the caliper. But that's why when I stuck this down there, I stuck this on the brake pad. I hit it between the brake pad. And it also wouldn't matter even if I did mess up the rotor, because as you know, we're changing.
No, I'm just asking for people who aren't changing the rotor.
Oh, no, it would not at all. Not the least little bit. Even if I didn't have this one prying up against the caliper, I can go up here against the rotor all I want. Guys, you're just prying up against the rotor. You're not gonna mess the rotor up. All right, so that is done. The next thing you want to do is get you a T45 torque socket, because the caliper is held on by two. You got two T Torx bolts. One right there. You can see that one. And the other one right there. So we're going to take our T45 Torx with our 3/8 drive ratchet. You make sure that the socket is seated in there fully, because if not, it can strip out and then it's going to cause you a big headache. Okay, that's one. Oops, look at that, guys. It's in the way. It doesn't matter. You can take this line, because it is metal. Just bend it down a little bit, and it's not. You're not going to hurt anything. Bend it down just enough to get that top bolt out. Great. All right, let's get both of those bolts out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got both bolts out. Both bolts are the same length. Cool, let's put those down. Next thing we do, take a screwdriver or a pry bar and start from the top of the caliper. Put your pry bar right between here. Pop that right out, just like that. And there's your caliper, and there's both pistons. Push back. A lot of times the pistons are not metal, so you go ahead and pry back on them between the brake pad and the piston. You can damage that piston. So let's take this, swing it over here to the side, leave it just like that. The next thing we need to do is remove our caliper bracket. Now, if you're just doing the brakes, you can stop at this point, skip further along in the video till we start putting the brake pads back on. But we're changing the rotor, and the rotor will not come off unless we take this off. Now, this caliper bracket is held on by two. Oh, you only have to do this. Two 18mm bolts. 1, 2. So I'm going to get me an 18mm deep socket. I'm going to use my little wobble extension. Wobble extension lets you put the extension on, and it can wobble a little bit just to give you a little added space. Take my gun. 1, 2. Both bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about it. When you go to take out this one, or whichever one last, you want to make sure you hold this in place so it don't drop nowhere. Take it off, and here you go, just like that. Set that down, and your rotor will come right off. Now, when I take my rotor off, my caliper is going to drop. You do not want to let the caliper hang by the brake hose. So I'm going to stick this up there and make sure it will come down up like that. Take the rotor, pop the rotor right off. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys. Before we put the rotor on, we have our caliper bracket here, which we've got to prep this thing up, clean this thing up. First, we got our old brake pads. Take them out. We're not going to need them no more. Next thing we'll do, now if hopefully you got a good brake pad kit like the customer got, that comes with new shims. This is very important to have new shims up here, because these old shims, they get a lot of gunk and stuff up there. Then you got to clean them all up, and if you don't, the brake pads will stick. You got to be able to slide in there. So take your flat screwdriver, pop that off, and if you want, get you some brake parts cleaner. Clean that up. And if you don't have brake parts cleaner, which I also recommend doing, get a little wire brush. So let me get a little wire brush and clean that off. Be right back. Alright, got a little wire brush here, because even though cleaning it, you don't really get that stuff good like you need it. But see, that wire brush, that does a lot of cleaning there. Definitely good to get this stuff off of there, because when you put the new clip up there, you want to make sure it goes flush. Then gonna spray a little bit more. Alright. Take our new clip. Line it up. And push it down into place. That's it. Let's turn it around. Wow, that one just came right off. Alright, wire brush this. And we're going to put the other clip on, spray it up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, once you get the clips on, take the back end of your screwdriver with a little hammer, and see those tabs right there? That's just to keep it into place. Turn it around. On just like that. Alright guys, the next thing we do is put our new brake pads in. But before we do that, we got to put a little lubricant where the brake pads slide, because if the brake pads do not slide good, the brakes pads, they'll come in and they'll stick, and they'll constantly be braking and cause a lot of heat on the rotors and wear the brakes out. So what you're going to do is get you a little anti-seize or brake lubricant, and you want to put it right here on these contacts right here. Now I'm using a Q-tip. Before, I used to use my finger, stick my finger in there, put it on there, and it'll get messed up. So a good friend of mine named Manic Mechanic 007, he said, Tim,
stop being nasty.
Stop being nasty, buddy. Not being rude or anything, but stop being nasty. He said, grab you some Q-tips, take the Q-tip, and lubricate the clips like that. So then ever since then, I call this method the 007. So when you do your brakes, you make sure when somebody asks you what are you doing, tell them I'm doing the 007. Alright, lubricate that real good. Both sides. Great. Now we're ready to install our brake pads. Stick this one to the side. Now, here's your inboard, and here's your outboard. I left them just like that. Your outboard has a little sensor on it, wear sensor, so that when your brakes get low, this wear sensor will hit the rotor and cause a loud squealing noise before it actually wears down the brake pads. So we want to put them back in the same place. I'm kind of dirty right here. The good thing the other ones are new. So we got our new brake pads. There's the one with the wear sensor. Take my brake pad and pay attention to how I'm putting it in. I'm not putting it in like this. I'm not putting it in like this. Pay attention. The brake pad part is going to go towards the inside where the rotor is. So, and what it does, it fits right inside that groove, just like that. And on the other side, does the same thing. And that's all you have to do is push both of them in and leave it just like that. The other side, the same way. And just pick that up a little bit and bring that in. Now this caliper bracket is ready to be installed. Alright, so bring this over to the car with the new rotor, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's open up the box. And it looks like, yeah, this thing's been returned. I don't know, maybe they got the wrong one, maybe the 2-wheel drive. and four-wheel drive is different. They are the same and everything. But what I'm gonna do is take some brake cleaner and clean this up. And then once we clean it up, it just sets on just like that. All right, so let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, guys, clean that up. Looks nice and good. Now it looks like new. All right, now you want to carefully take your caliper bracket with the brake pads. Your screws are going to screw right into there. The two 18mm bolts, but we just worrying about the top one now. You want to go over the rotor and go to the other side. Get that bolt in there and get it started by a couple threads. And once it gets started by a couple threads, you pretty much can let that go. Get your other bolt. You might have to move the caliper bracket around a little bit to get that one started. Got that one started. Go ahead. Tighten this up. And you can see my brake pad came out of here, but that's all right. That's all I have to do is just push that right back into place. That's all. Get the other one tightened up. Perfect. All right, now make sure everything is in place. Now, if you're having a problem like maybe the rotor. Man, what the heck? Wait a minute here. Okay, there we go. All right, you're having a problem, the rotor keep moving around. A good trick you can do, guys, is take two of the lug nuts, put them on. You can tighten them up, just put them on by hand. And that way, it keeps the rotor straight while you're putting this all together. All right, our caliper. Bring our caliper up. Before we put our caliper on, our caliper got slide pins right here. You want to make sure that you can move these back and forth. Let me try to get these at a better angle or something. This one is got over there. You want to make sure you can move these back and forth like this. If you can't, you got to take this whole thing apart and grease those up. But those are moving very freely. Now we're ready to put them on. Before you put on, make sure these pins are pushed all the way in through that way. Grab our two T45 bolts. And what we're going to do here is put it in through the top first. And make sure it goes under here. And then bring the bottom one in. Let's get our bolts. And when you put bolts in, you definitely want to turn them in by a few threads, and that way you know they're not being cross-threaded. Because if you cross-thread them, you just made this job a whole lot difficult. Let's get our bottom one going in. You might have to move the caliper around a little bit. Perfect. All right, now what I'm gonna do is grab my big bill ratchet. And this is dirty. I don't like getting my big bill ratchet dirty, so I'm gonna take these gloves off. I appreciate that. Got my T45 socket, and I'm gonna go ahead in there, bring that one in, and bring this one in. And whether you're using the your big bill ratchet or regular ratchet, you want to make sure you hold the top of it firmly. You do not want to strip that out. 1, 2. That is it. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're up here checking out the Timmy Towel. And look at it. Look how discolored it is. That's all the brake fluid coming up, and the paper towel is soaking it up. But not a drop of fluid out here. And that's what we want. So what we're going to do, take the Timmy Towel out, stick in another one, and now we're going to turn the wheel all the way to the right and get to the right side. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're on the driver's side now. The wheel is turned all the way to the right. And this side, I'm going to push the pistons back a little bit different. I like the screwdriver method. The screwdriver method is very, very easy. And everybody's got to have some kind of screwdriver in the house, right? Right. But on this side, I'm going to use a C-clamp. And I really don't want to because this is like, I don't know what the heck. Alright, first thing we're going to do is take off the caliper. And it's, again, let's like the other side, this bolt's in the way, so I'm just move this out the way a little bit. Get my T45 socket. Well, let's go in this way then. Oh man. Okay, that's one. I need a new sight. This thing is worn out, man. Dang it. Alright, let's get to the bottom one. Alright, and let's get both of those bolts out. And while you're using your ratchet, I'm gonna switch over to the big bill. Yeah, buddy. Get those bolts out, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing to do, get a little pry bar, stick it between there. Pop our caliper out.
Is it harder to pull the caliper out if you don't pull the piston or push the piston back first?
Yes, it is, as you can see. So, this sucks, man. See, I should have just did it the way I want to instead of trying to help people out. I know you guys are like, forget that. I'm gonna do it the other way you taught me. I ain't got time to be going through that. Ow, 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 that hurt it. Dang it, that hurt it. You know, why do I even bother? Man, I should have just... What a difference when you're using a screwdriver. Big difference. What the heck is this thing getting stuck on? Okay, fine. I'll tell you what. Oh, wait a minute. That piston actually looked like it just flexed and moved. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh. Now that's what. Oh, the whole line's coming. He's gonna need a brake line over here. Brake hose. This thing's. Gotta let him know that. Oh man, look at this mess right here. Yeah, we're gonna have to give this customer a call, guys, because this is all messed up. And while we're here, let's see if these pistons will go back. Look at even the boot. This boot came out of here. He might need a caliper as well. To push these back, I'm gonna grab one of the old brake pads. Put the brake pad in the caliper, the soft side up against the pistons. Take your C-clamp. We're gonna have to do one side at a time. Right there. Alright, then twist the C-clamp in. And you can see the piston going back. Alright, then you gotta switch over to this side. As you can see, the screwdriver method is a lot easier than doing it this way. A lot easier. So we're gonna go ahead, push these pistons back, and we're gonna talk to the customer, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we just spoke to the customer. The customer said, nah, it should be good, leave it alone. So we're gonna put this back together just the way it is.
Stop.
Nah, he said, alright, go ahead and do it. All right, so what we're gonna do here is find us a nice clean section of this hose. Get you some hose clamps. And what we're gonna do is put this right here, squeeze it, lock it into place, and that's when we take this caliper off, we're not, just a little bit of fluid come out, not the rest of it. Just like that for now. Now this caliper, while we're up here, this caliper is held on by a 14mm bolt right here with the brake line. So I'm gonna do this real quick.
Are you?
Dang it. Where my socket at? I'm going to get a 14mm deep socket, 1/2" drive. Now I'm not going to do this putting this back together, I'm just taking it apart. With my 1/2" drive air gun. And I got a pan up under here to if I lose some fluid. We'll go ahead and take this off. Be careful when you take this off. There's 2 washers / gaskets around this. So we go ahead, take this off. You can see the fluid coming out. Put this down in the pan. Let that undrain. Now, right here,
Undrain?
make it drain. Now, you got your brake line right here. Got a washer over here. These are not actually washers. These are gaskets.
But that don't come with the new brake line?
It might come with it. Sometimes they don't. Here's our bolt. Take our bolt out of here. And our bolt has one just as well. So it's going to be washer, gasket, in through the line, and then the other one. If you forget these, it will leak. 100% guaranteed it is going to leak. So let's put this down. Stick that down to the side. Then we're going to, dang it, man. Rag. Then we're going to take our 18mm. Why do I got a 19 over here? Now the caliper, some calipers come with the caliper bracket and all that. So the only thing we're going to do is take this apart and pop this rotor off, put a new one on. So, and we'll see how it comes when we get there. Got an 18mm deep, 1/2" drive. Get our air gun. Go in the back of here. Let's remove these 2 18mm bolts. One. And as we remove the second one, we'll hold the caliper bracket in place. 2. Put the bolts down. Oops. Don't want to lose those. Take our caliper bracket. Wow, look at that, guys. Let's put that down to the side. See how it comes. Rotor. Of course the rotor is going to be stuck. Someone just take the hammer and I'm going to knock this rotor off. If your rotor is stuck and you're still using your old rotors, don't hit it like this. You can damage the rotor. Then you want to hit it right here. And it'll work its way out. Take it off. Put that to the side. Now what you're going to do, move this over a little bit. And right here, our brake hose comes up and it attaches right here, right between the upper control arms. So I'm going to go take me some WD-40. Spray that. And it looks like about a 10mm. I'm not going to take this out yet. I just want to make sure this is loose enough that we can work with it.
So when you disconnect it from there, aren't you going to lose the brake fluid?
Yeah, but right now what I want to do is just break it loose, just to make sure it's, and it's an 11mm. So, let's see if, great. Let's turn it back and forth, make sure it is going to come apart, because if not, man, that could be a world of trouble right there. All right, so tighten it back up a little bit. We are good to go. I'm not going to take this line out. By this 10mm bolt right here. What is this bolt over here for? I don't know what the heck that's for. But we're gonna wait till the new line come in. Let's get our new rotor.
What are you eating?
Laffy Taffy.
So tell us a joke.
No, I don't got no jokes for you.
What did one eye say to the other eye?
What did one eye say to the other eye? Leave me alone, I'm trying to work. That's what he said.
Nope.
He said,
between us, something smells.
it's uncle jokes. You gotta stop messing with this Laffy Taffy. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'll stick our new rotor on. This rotor looks like it's been sitting in water or something. A little rust on it. Alright, now we just wait for the new parts to come in. Yeah. We'll be right back. Alright guys, the customers, it's been an hour and a half, guys. It's been an hour and a half waiting for these parts. Anyway, alright, here's the caliper. Yeah, whatever. This is held on by 6mm hex bolts. So what I'm gonna do is take my, forget about the name of the tools, my pawl driver. Take these bolts out. Take the caliper off. Take our new clips. Let's pop them on. 1, 2. All right, I'm not gonna put the brake pads on right here. What I'm gonna do is go ahead, take this. Matter of fact, let's get our 007 right here. I'm so aggravated, man. It's like take our 007, lubricate the clips. Okay. I put the 2 nuts on the rotor to hold it into place like we did the other side. Let's put the caliper bracket on. Get our 2 18mm bolts. Start off by a couple threads. Make sure they're not cross-threaded. Okay. Get our 18mm deep 1/2" drive socket, and we're going to tighten those 2 up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now let's get our brake pads. And this one's our inboard, the one with the wear sensor. Let's hook it up down into that groove right there. And the top one into that groove. Push it close to the rotor. And you can get a better angle over here at this one. We're going to put both of them in there like this. Make sure they're into the groove. And then push them in. Yeah, it'll go in. Okay, that's perfect. Now we grab our caliper. Make sure both slides. Thing came off of there. Are back a little bit. Make sure it's. See how that boot came off of there? You want to make sure that bring that pin back a little bit over here. It stays on just like that. Bring that one. Let's take our bolts out. Let's take this little cover right here off. That's just to protect from dirt and all going inside of it.
Yeah, screwdriver.
There it is. Alright, so we're gonna carefully put our caliper on. First going to the bottom first to make sure it hooks right over here. So we're gonna make sure that it gets over there. Just gotta make sure that pin is back too. This thing won't even act right. Still not in here. Gotta love this mess. Look at this thing came out. I think because I'm aggravated, I'm not doing this like I'm supposed to be. There we go. Set it into place. Let's get the other one down into place. You know what? I'm gonna have to move this because this rotor has to move or something. It's like it's gotta go more over that side. But that's gotta suck. Get our bolts in here, start them off by a couple of threads, and get ready to tighten them up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the caliper back off. This thing was not fitting right. So we took it off, looked at it, come to find out, they had gotten the wrong caliper. Two kind of calipers that go up here. You got to make sure whether you have phenolic piston or steel pistons. This vehicle has phenolic pistons, and the caliper that we were putting up there had steel. Luckily, it just wouldn't push down right. That's why I was having a hard time. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, let's get this brake hose done. Now, already I loosened up here. So what I'm gonna do is grab me an 11mm wrench now, and I'm gonna do this kind of quick. I'm gonna loosen this up, take this line completely out of here. We're gonna have to do this fast so we don't lose too much fluid. As you can see, we're losing fluid already. Now that it's loose enough, what I'm gonna do is take my pole driver with a 10mm socket, and we got a 10mm bolt right here that's holding this line on. Go over here, take that bolt out of there. Then you got the wiring harness going to the speed sensor. I'm gonna pull that out of here, out of the little groove it got. Dang it. There we go. Then, I can go over here, bring the line over this side so it's easier to work with. Now we can just take the line. I thought we could twist it off here. There we go. Get that line twisted off there. We got to do this quick because we're losing brake fluid. Let's get the new line. Maybe I should have had this open already. What the heck is wrong with it? It is so windy out here. Alright, let's get this line started in here. Okay, great. Then, I want to get my hose clamp. Let's bring this around this way, where it's supposed to be. And let's crimp this hose off. Perfect. Before we tighten this up, let's set our line right here. Get our 10mm bolt. Get our pole driver with our 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket. Tighten that up. And now we're going to go ahead and tighten this line back up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got a new caliper bracket up here, new caliper. And look at the quality differences. These was gotten from Fisher Auto Parts. These are much better. And if you look back on the video, you're going to see there was a big difference the way these clips set and everything. This is just, you know, this is why we always try to deal with Fisher. Now let's set this down there like it's supposed to. Hold on, let me. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, stop the video?
No. Keep going. Just want to get these set in this. Okay. Now let's set this. I'm so aggravated, man. I'm putting the thing on backwards and everything. There we go. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at when you get quality parts, man. It makes the world of difference. All right, let's get these 2 bolts started. And again, these are 6mm hex. So where's my pole driver with my 6mm hex socket on it? Go ahead and tighten these up. Put the boot down there and get the bottom one. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, next thing to do, take us a little screwdriver. Pop this little protector out of here. Being careful not to damage the threads. Look at this mess. You ever get them days, it seems like with just everything goes wrong, you just want to go home. But you don't have a choice. Guys, can you see that? I'm having... Alright, let's get our brake hose over here. And it's going to set up just like that. So we're going to do, get a new bolt. Put a washer / gasket on it. Put it through the hose, the line. Put the other one on the other side. And start that by hand. Bring that in. Let's get us a 14mm socket and we're going to tighten that up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our 14mm socket, 3/8 drive, 3/8 drive ratchet. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this up. And this one, you want to make sure it's kind of tight because you got to... those are like copper gaskets, and you're actually squeezing them together. So you want to make sure, I mean, don't go Hulk on it. Squeeze them together, make sure everything is great, perfect. Bring our bucket out to here, because now we're gonna have to bleed the brakes.
Don't you take the clamp off?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Dang, I'm all messed up now today. Take the clamp off, drop it in the bucket. All right. I'm gonna put some brake fluid in here and get a 10mm wrench, and we'll show you how to bleed the brakes. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the first thing we're gonna do, get our Timmy Towel out of there. Look at that, soaked up a lot of brake fluid. Get that out of here. Put our cap back on. And our bleeder right here, I thought it was a 10. This is actually a 3/8. So you wanna make sure that it is open first. Dang it. Get me a 6-point. Be right back. All right, got me a 6-point. Definitely use a 6-point. Get in there. All right, great. Make sure it's nice like that. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Civvy step on the brakes. Now I gotta watch it because this thing will shoot out of here like crazy. So if you want, get you a little hose to put up there and all, so you can guide it to go down. All right. So when I say go, I want you to step on the brakes and just hold it down. All right? All right, push down. Let it go. Now before she lets it go, you want to close that valve off so it don't suck in no air. All right, then we're going to open up again. Push down. There we go. And that's all we were looking for right there. Now we're ready to bleed the brakes out. All right, pump them up. Look at those pistons. Pistons were moving inside there. Hold it down. And hold it down. So that air come out of there, guys. Close it off. All right, pump it up. Hold down. Okay, pump it up. Still saw a little bit of air there. Hold down. Perfect. Now, what we're going to do now, guys, let it go. And what we're going to do is wipe this off. And then you have the person pump it up and hold it down tight. And while they're holding it down, you want to go and you want to make sure you got no kind of leaks going on around here, around the fitting. While they're holding it down, especially around here, make sure you don't see no kind of leaks. And while they got it held down, I'm gonna open this up one more time and close it off. All right, let it go. And that's it, guys. Now once we do that, we're gonna go back onto the top. We lost some brake fluid, so now what we gotta do is take our cap off. Make sure you put the right brake fluid in it. Look on your cap, it's gonna tell you which one. This one takes .3. We'll fill this up and we'll be right back.
All right, so today we had a 97 Ford Ford Expedition. This was a 4-wheel drive with a 4.6 engine, and we showed you how to replace the front brake pads and calipers and rotors actually, and there's an extra bonus, a caliper and a brake hose.
An extra bonus, you saw me aggravated.
An extra bonus, you saw him aggravated, so you can make comments below and make fun of him or something. You know, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@AstroAutoRepairs.com.
Get your parts from Fisher Auto Parts.
Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astro Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.